Hello, happy stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, here to do another card with you today. And as always, I have a couple of little extras that I did on this card that you might really enjoy seeing. So let me show you what we're going to make. This is the card. Okay, isn't it lovely? I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let me see. Where did I put all my stuff? Here we go. So today I am using the very Versailles stamp set. I'm going to be using this leaf image and the text image from that. I am going to be using the Bouquet of Love dies and the Bouquet of Love 3D embossing folder that comes in a set called Bouquet of Love Hybrid Embossing Folder in the new catalog, mini catalog. It's on page 11 there. It comes with an embossing folder and some dies, as you can see. And so we're going to be using those as well. This particular card is made with fresh freesia. I'm going to make the new card with Misty Moonlight, just to see. So how I came about this card was I had cut out a bunch of the embossed images like this and had used them on a page. And then I had done one where I had just used some of the extras around the edges, and I had these hearts left over. And so what I did is I took them and I cut them out. Where's my other one? I had two of them here. Eek. I say eek because it's supposed to be here. Okay, well, I'm going to have to cut another one out anyway, so I'll show you. So this is what it looks like. This is how I cut it out. I just kind of followed. There's a little bit of a line there if you can see it, but even if you can't, just kind of follow it around and cut it out. This is kind of a fun thing to do. You could cut your card like this one is cut 3 3/4 by 5. No, that's not right. It's 3 3/4 by something. I'm sorry. And anyway, just big enough to emboss the heart shape. Okay, and then I embossed it, centering the heart on that piece that I have, and cut it out just like this. And I'm just kind of following that. It doesn't have to be perfect either. I mean, I guess if you're concerned about that, you might not want to do this project, but I don't get too uptight about perfection per se. I like to just be able to, there we go. So there's my 2 hearts. I'll save that. You can punch some more stuff out of the sides of that, some little hearts or something. And then obviously I'm going to put them on the front of the card. Now this card, the pieces I had left over, I sat down with some scraps, and these were pieces I had left over. I cut them out. This is that Mother of Pearl. That's what these hearts are from. And you can see it has a, see if I can get it to shimmer for you, a little bit of a shimmer to it. These are going to be just basic white. That's what I'm using for these, just to experiment a little bit with the differences. Now, that's one little trick, cutting out those frames around those hearts. And when they're cut out, they still look really, really good. So the next thing I did is I took a piece of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4, and I want this border, but I don't want to have to layer it. So here's my next trick I'm going to show you. I'm going to take my paper trimmer, and I'm going to turn it sideways because I need to be able to see my marks, my inch marks over here, and try and get the whole thing in the camera. It's a little tricky for me here. I've got limited. Here we go. And I am going to put this in, and I want a 1/4 inch. So I'm putting it on the 1/4 inch mark here. then I'm going to close the top, but I'm not going to push down yet because I want to set this one, the blade, at 1/4 of an inch. And there's a little slot right here on your blade that you can line up with the 1/4 inch mark. I've got to get some different lighting. Excuse me just a minute. I'm going to move my light just a little bit so I can see better. Hopefully you'll still be able to see what you need here. So, lift it up yet. I'm not quite on the 1/4 inch mark yet. There. So there I'm 1/4 inch from the top, and I've got it set in 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to come down, since this is 5 1/4, I'm going to come down to the 5 inch mark. So now I'm going to cut. Right, like that, stop at the 1/4 inch mark. Now that's already setting on the 5 inch, so I'm going to leave it there, turn it around, and put it back in at the 1/4 inch mark here. Make sure I've got it nice and even. And the blade hasn't moved. So now I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to stop at the 1/4 inch mark up here. So there's those two sides. Now I want to get the top. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a mask. So here's the 1/4 inch mark there. And I left the blade on the 1/4 inch mark. Now I'm going to go to 3 3/4, just like this. I kind of put my finger there to help guide me because sometimes they're a little bit hard to see. Then I'm going to turn it around, put it on the 1/4 inch mark again. My blade's at 3 3/4 already. I'm going to bring it back to that 1/4 inch mark here. And it's pretty good. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And I'll put my lighting back where I need it so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry for the shadows. And then this should just pop out, but if you didn't get it just exact, you can come in with your scissors and just give it a quick little nip at the corner if you didn't totally get your corners matched. And we'll give it a nip there. But you can see I've done this a few times before, so now the nice thing about this, oh, I still got a little, still hanging on a little bit there. Come on. There we go. Okay, you're going to save this because we're going to use it later. And that makes this piece 3 3/4 by 5. Now here's our frame. And here's what I'm going to put on the front of the card. Now this is the basic white. It is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is the mask that I'm going to put on here. And I am going to use my temporary or removable adhesive, and I'm going to just get out my silicone sheet here, and I'm just going to run this down. This tape is definitely wider than the frame. Don't worry, it's removable, so we'll be able to clean it up when we get it on the card. But I'm running it all the way around all 4 sides, as you can see. Done with that. And now I'm going to line it up with the edges of this card, and it should just line up perfectly, right? Perfectly. There we go. And you can see there's just a little bit there, and because it's removable, all I got to do is kind of rub it and it will go away. Get out of my way. There we go. Now we are ready to start stamping. So we'll bring in the Misty Moonlight. We'll see what this looks with blue. I just wanted to kind of try a different color, so we're going to give it a try. I have my blending brush here, and I have the script stamp, and I'm going to stamp it first. Make sure I get it inked good. Okay, and I'm just going to center it as best I can. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to center it right in the center here. Press it down. There's my script. Now I'm going to brush some color on. I'm going to start off the page and then work around because I want it to be kind of light to start with, not super, super dark. And I want to leave a white center, so I'm not going too far in from the edge. And I'm just going to keep turning it around until I get the tone I want. And I think that was pretty quick and easy. And so this center part is still white, so it kind of gives this gradient effect. Really kind of pretty. Oh, we're going to need that some more yet. Goofus. Okay, now I'm going to use this image from the stamp set. Get that inked up. That looks pretty good. And this first one, I'm going to, not happy with that. There we go. This first one, I'm going to come down from the top, and I'm going to pretty much put the whole thing on, the whole thing. And I'm not taking the mask off yet. I still want this to stay within the mask. Ah, I love it. And then this next one, I'm going to come in from the top and just use just the end of this. Come in part way with it. And I'm overlapping some of the script. That's okay. And then we need something down here, and I'm going to use the other end of the graphic. Let's ink it up a little bit more. I'm going to kind of go sideways like this. There we go. Okay, I think I forgot to put my mic on, so I hope this is working for you. Okay, then we can peel up the mask. Just like this. Clean off any residual stuff. And then we're going to mount it onto a piece of, keeping the color scheme going. We're going to mount it onto a piece of Misty Moonlight paper, which I forgot to cut, so let's get that. And 5.5. And we will fold it and burnish the fold. And then we can attach this to the front of the card with Stampin' Seal. There's my Stampin' Seal. And then it just gets centered on the card front, and it's going to leave about 1/8 of an inch border around that. Just like that. So there's the basic card. Now my hearts, I'm going to attach them so they overlap just a little bit. And I'm going to, I want them to be chained. So you can see how this one goes over, and then over here it goes under, so that they're actually chained together. That just was important to me for this particular card. And so I'm going to, let's see, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just snip it right. Let's see, how do I want it to look? I'm going to snip it right here, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to be using the two-way glue pen. Get some things out of my way. Oh, by the way, once you've got this mask, you can do this technique more than once. Save your masks. I have a little stamping case, an empty stamping up case, and I keep what I call stencils or masks that I've handmade. I put them in there, and then when I'm thinking about doing that process again, I can pull them out and reuse them. So I save these so I can reuse them and not have to do that cutting thing all over again. I have one here that I used for the fresh freesia one as well, but I wanted to show you how to cut it, so that's why we have two of them now. Okay. Okay, so now we're ready to attach these hearts. Got this one cut. I'm going to use my Zig two-way squeeze glue pin. This is what I use to do that fine thing, and I'm just going to go around when I just need a fine bead of glue all the way around, and I'm going to glue it. I'm leaving fairly large droplets. I don't want it to dry before I get to everything. And I gotta glue them both. You can tell which side's the front and the back. Just watch carefully when you are doing it. You can tell the stitching looks more distinct on the front. And excuse me. So we'll get these. I can't stick one down completely without the other one being ready to tuck under. So we'll put this one on. Yeah, okay. Like that. Get it basically stuck, but it's not dry yet. So that I can then bring this one in and just tuck that slice. Where's my pokey tool? Here it is. Lift that up just a little bit, put that under, and this one, and put it under. There we go. Now we can finish pressing it into place. So I hid that little snip seam underneath the one that it goes over it. So it hides the seam. And I think it looks lovely and blue and white, as lovely as it looks in the fresh freesia. You could add some bling to it if you want to, but I don't think it needs it. I'm going to leave it a blank card. I'm not putting a sentiment on it today. There's room inside. Oh, let me show you what I'm doing on the inside. It's a good thing I opened this so I could show you. I took the piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 that came out of the center of the piece that we cut for the frame, for the mask, and I took the script, get it right side up, yep, got it right side up. I took the script and I inked it and stamped off and then stamped on the card, so it's just really faint. And I wanted it to go all the way down, so I just added some more. And then I took the stem, leaf, branch, whatever you want to call it, and I did the same thing with that. And I'll ink off and then just put it down the side like that. And so that's the inside of the card. We'll attach that with some Stamp and Seal. So kind of a monochromatic card, but yet striking because of the borders and the way the hearts sit on top. And we'll just put it in here like this. And it's got a little bit of a wider border because this is only 3 3/4 by 5, and so, but there's still plenty of room to write whatever sentiment you want or to put an extra happy birthday or whatever inside. So there is today's card. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you enjoyed seeing those little tricks that I did to make it special, and you know, kind of expanding on what we can do with the dies and things that we have. And that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and to my blog at www.katespapercreations.org. And I thank you for stopping by.